all of this work that we do is in many ways mystical, mysterious, magical, powerful, divine, assisted by spirit, by guides. And yet there is an element to it that we have to do. Because ultimately, we're living our lives and we're making choices, and the choices are ours. That is one of the most significant, if not the most important, rules of this existence, that we have choice. Our will allows us to operate through this life. The more conscious we become, the more we can utilize this will that we have more clearly, more directedly. And in many ways, when we do our own meditations, when we do take time for ourselves, for retreats, or for daily routines, or for certain changes in the way we have our diet, or we exercise, or we connect with nature, how well do we take care of ourselves? Those are our choices. They become more consciously directed. Yes? And so we're going to do a meditation practice that I'm going to guide us into, that will set us into a state. And that's a type of meditation. It's very probably going to be similar to any of the other meditations that we have been practicing together. And it's something you can take away, you can re-listen, you can utilize again. And also you can create your own variations of it in which you guide yourself into meditation. Guided meditations are a powerful way to utilize the technology of meditation to get into states of silence and presence, and eventually through an observational state come to realizations and then come into alignment. So part of this session today is a guided meditation, is a practice. And you can create your own version of this, or you can utilize what we provide to you, or you can utilize some of the meditations we've already provided, many different formats, shapes, and so on. And in some way, even the transmissions themselves are like guided meditations, right? There is both energy, presence, there is words of wisdom, which we don't have to listen to very attentively. We can listen to them with a soft focus and allow these messages to be entering our consciousness and impacting us in that way. In the early days, I used to try to hang on to every word and try to decide, what are they going to say? What's going to be next? Oh, this sentence makes no sense. And then I would realize it makes sense once it was finished. Like, where is the punctuation going to go in this sentence? Right? So my mind was very active during some of these transmissions. But I was still in some form of an observer state. Interestingly enough, my mental operations were separate and compartmentalized from the line that was delivering the transmissions themselves. It's a very interesting process. Over time, I started to realize the stronger the energy was and the messages were coming through in these transmissions, the less I was trying to hold on to understand everything that was being said. I was relaxing into the fact that we had a recording. And I believe in some ways that's been your journey as well, right? Trusting, receiving, knowing that it lands somewhere, and eventually potentially revisiting this transcript, the transmission, and recognizing it with your mind and mental comprehension, and maybe integrating it on different levels of your being. In that way, the transmissions are energetic primarily. The guided meditation is similar. Guided meditations have been developed just similarly to prayers or mantras in order to get the mind to a certain state in which the meditation actually takes effect. That makes sense? So that the expanded consciousness can receive the tremendous benefits of this powerful tool that we have. When we have a busy mind and it goes in all kinds of things, most importantly, it goes to the places of all the things that need to be done, haven't been done. You know that one? It's like, oh, you need to do this. You forgot about this. Like, okay, got it. You need to do this. You need to do that. So a lot of things that are backlogged will come through in the early stages of meditation, because the mind now suddenly has space to remind you of all of those things. But over time, that will get also more and more quieter, smoother. And when we enter in these meditative states into a place of quiet and silence, into a place of expansion, when we receive a glimpse of a knowing or a thought or an independent vision or visualization that's almost separate from mental operations. Does that make sense? Do you see the difference? In a similar way, I will guide us through this meditation, and there may be some things coming up as this meditation is going through. Just take note of them without inquiring too much further with the mind. Okay? After the session, you can take some notes and see what came for you through that. Similar to the way in the transmission, certain things might come up that may be important things to know or realize.